Police said there was no evidence of foul play in the death of 22-year-old Riley Strain. His family says, we'll see about that. Nearly 3 weeks after Strain's body was pulled from Nashville's Cumberland River, the family admits they still have a lot of questions. There's also one group of people that he'd like to talk to about Riley's final moments. A family friend says they finally tracked down the homeless man who's believed to be the last person to see Riley alive, and his account, if true, changes so much about what we think happened. This video will start there, and then share quotes right from the stepdad in context. We'll also look at what outside experts are saying. Some of these points are pretty valid even if they conflict with what police say. Some others are just hypothesizing and fear-mongering. Hey, it's Billy Dukes, and subscribers who've trusted us to report on this story know that we haven't fallen victim to the latter. Twitter is not our #1 source for new details and theories, and in fact, we've really poured some cold water on some of the wilder conspiracy theories that are out there. I've linked a link in the description section below for one of those. But right now, let's look more at what this new witness has to say. The person's name is not known, but he's part of the homeless community. You may recall police saying they were seeking one more person who's believed to have talked to Riley. Well, they found him, and family friend Chris Dingman says the witness saw Riley stumbling and asked if he's okay. Riley said he was just drunk and kept walking past the James Robertson Parkway Bridge toward the detention center, seen here with a red X. That's really huge because previously, police had said that Riley disappeared just before or just after that bridge, represented by a green X here. Fox 17 in Nashville has another source who says that the man saw Riley walk, quote, as far as he could see past the Birch building, which is connected to the detention center. Problem with all of this is that the cops say, no. In a statement provided to Fox 17, they say that no cameras on the other side of the bridge corroborate that Riley was walking that far, and furthermore, the witness in question says he was referencing news accounts when he was pressed for some details. He might just be an unreliable narrator. Stepfather Chris Whitehead spoke with Nashville's News Channel 5, who says Riley's family still has a lot of questions. For starters, they want to talk to Riley's fraternity brothers. A quick timeline is pretty important here to understand why their conversations are so important. Riley disappeared after being kicked out of Luke Bryan's Luke's 32 Bridge bar that Friday night. The bar said a friend followed him down the stairs but did not exit the bar with Riley. His hotel was west, but he walked north and east, eventually on Gay Street, which parallels the Cumberland River. I'm going to add here that the stepfather didn't really seem suspicious or angry with these kids. It was just sort of a general plea for some more information and maybe even a few more photos. These are, after all, the last photos taken of his son. Previously, Riley's mother had said that these kids, like her, were just devastated by this tragedy.
He's my best friend. He's everything.
I'm editorializing now, but I think there might be a lot of reasons why these kids don't want to talk to Riley's parents. Guilt being the main reason. Nobody at any point has indicated that they suspect them of anything. Quote, we're just looking for that next little clue that gives us an idea of what happened when he went missing, Whitehead says. That may come from the toxicology results of the autopsy. Remember, only preliminary reports of the 2 autopsies were made public. It takes a long time, 6 to 12 weeks even, to get the test results back, but when they come through, we'll know if Riley was intoxicated or if there were any drugs in his system, and probably a whole lot more. One popular conspiracy theory is that Riley was roofied, to which I ask, why? I think unless you can find a motive for a crime beyond just general evil doing, you really don't have much to go on. I also found this important piece of data in a 24 article from a publication called The Cut. They quote the CDC in saying that about 685,000 men had been victims of drug-facilitated sexual assault, compared to 9 or 10 million women. That's about 6%. The other part of the stepfather's conversation with News Channel 5 finds him admitting that they've not totally decided that no foul play was involved. In fact, the more they learn, the more suspicious they become. The big issue is Riley's pants, or more specifically that he wasn't wearing pants or boots when he was pulled out of the river. Police said it was possible the river pulled off these clothing articles, but a forensic expert named Bill Bass says that's very unusual. It does seem unusual when you consider that it was likely Riley was wearing a belt. Quote, yeah, he was thin, Whitehead says when asked if he was certain. Quote, if he wasn't wearing a belt, his pants would have been down around his knees when he was shown running. That sentiment was echoed by Riley's dad, a man named Ryan Gilbert. I'm gonna admit it's kind of tough to keep track of everyone here because you have the father and the stepfather and a family friend named Chris Dingman who does a lot of media. That Chris and Ryan talked to Elizabeth Vargas, and he said there are more people they'd love to talk to, including a group on scooters. The stepfather says they're in constant contact with police. Honestly, it just sounds like there's a ton of little things that still irk them, and without turning over every stone, they can't sleep at night. I also think that posts like this aren't helping anyone. Nancy Grace has been all over this story, but in my mind, this goes a little too far. Quote, "I find it very difficult to believe he fell in the water. Nobody knew about it, nobody heard him yell, nothing at all. And then he turns up without his pants, his boots, his wallet all missing. I've got a big problem with that." Other experts have shared that drowning is usually a silent event, and this kind of goes against one of my basic principles of life, that in chaos, be wary of the loudest person in the room. I dropped another video on this topic that I think you'll enjoy right here, and YouTube has selected the video it thinks you'll like here. I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.